Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the Turing Test. Let's continue. So, we might be in a situation where the subtitles stopped working, and I'm a little too afraid to let the game reload, although it is loading now. That was a very abrupt loading section. The only reason you're seeing loading like this and how it's just going loading totally shows that this game was not finished when it was released. Square Enix should have given it some more money and polished it some more. I mean, there's really no justification for that. And look, I just spun around and it hitched up as it was trying to load all the graphics. Maybe I'm pushing my computer a little hard with the DirectX 12 version, but I don't think so. This isn't a ton of textures. It's not hyper realistic graphics or anything like that. Alright, so now I've got an energy ball. When this guy goes through, I don't have a clue what this is scanning for then. Maybe these are scanners just trying to stop Tom and the robot.
What condition should I expect to find the ground crew in?
Daniel went missing days ago. Chris is presumed dead. We are expecting to find Sarah, Mikhail, and Sochi in a stable condition.
Chris is dead?
He was involved in an accident.
So, what's weird here is you kind of feel like you'd use the right stick to move this, but you're holding the X button. So the only way you can move the right stick to switch would be to use your left thumb, which is what I'm doing right now, and it's not working. Maybe it would also make more sense if you, since it seems like these switches are only going up and down, it might make more sense to just hold down the X button and use right trigger and left trigger. But whatever. We'll see how this goes. I mean, I guess we have to just assume that the goal here of these Turing Test puzzles is to stop robots through. I'd have to think fairly hard about whether these tests really are puzzles that a artificial intelligence couldn't figure out. These actually feel like fairly easy for a computer to figure out puzzles. What you would want to do for like a Turing test is have a picture of, let's say, a pitchfork and a puppy, and then almost all humans would pick the puppy, or a computer would just be confused as to what. There's no comparison between a pitchfork and a puppy other than they both start with the letter P, therefore I should choose pitchfork because it's alphabetically more
to the ground team?
Unfortunately,
newer.
there is not a direct route. The base is bedded under ice to protect it from the radiation of space.
Similar to the Mars base.
Similar. Europa's base is slightly deeper into the surface. There is more radiation present from solar events on Mars. But Mars's surface is denser than that of Europa.
I don't know how much protection you really get from ice, from radiation, cosmic radiation in particular. Alright. So everything gets a little blurry when we're under the magnet in this visual effect. And then I guess what I want to do is come over here, probably put something there. They are doing a little bit more here than I think you actually did in Portal 1, since Portal 1 is mostly just portals and kind of kind of nothing else. Like, yeah, there's portals, and then there's like turrets and things that. Is there a way to stop this and turn it off? Last time there was a energy pellet on the front of this. This time it doesn't seem so lucky. Well, I guess it doesn't matter, we'll just grab it. And then see if we can just stick that there. Have to hold the X button and then get it all the way over that direction. Robots wouldn't be able to climb these ladders, at least the robots that we've seen in this game. So that kind of makes sense. But these really feel like fairly logical puzzles. So unless there is a puzzle on top of puzzles.
Oxygen, the food stores, waste management.
Everything seems to be in order. There was a small problem with the food stores, but the crew fixed that up. We successfully transitioned over to a sustainable, small, artificial ecosystem a year ago, growing fruit and vegetables. It helps boost morale, amongst other things. The crew members could hypothetically survive here for their whole lifetimes.
I wonder if we find out that they did survive here their whole lifetimes. Let's test something here. Nope, we cannot shoot energy pellets out. This is an interesting bridge. It's not logical in any way whatsoever that you'd have to have the same power unit that powers the doors and the magnets to also power a bridge to cross. It's very, very video gamey. But, I mean, you can't really complain about that too much. I could even see like a logical reason to have a retractable bridge if you had like a forklift or something that had to cross this area moving merchandise or something, mining stuff, which this is a mining base, so an industrial looking item does seem would make some sense. If I jump down here, I think we're still fine. And I think it's like they want that there. We're starting to see some breaking of the floor, as we saw in the late parts of Portal 1. One of the things that really makes Portal though stand out compared to a game like this is Tom certainly is no GLaDOS, and Ava Turing, the character we are playing as, is really no Cell, even though, in all fairness, Cell did not in any way act as an actual character in the first game, and kind of barely acted as a character in the second game. She's a silent protagonist that gets talked about from an unreliable narrator perspective. Right. That's weird. So what does this do? I'm confused as to what this extra energy orb is for. I mean, I see it's needed over there. I see this can be rotated. And then it can be expanded. But where is the power source for this? Yeah, it's not grabbing anything. Must have missed it. There must be something down here, kind of hidden away as a power source. Either that or the game is just straight up glitched. Let's look under this bridge. We found this piece. I mean, I guess maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm overcomplicating this more than it needs to be. Maybe what you do is you just move yourself over here and then grab that. Two is not good enough. Oh, it's over here. All right. So I see. The game is oddly flickering back and forth between these magnet characters having energy behind them. Let's go ahead and just put that there. It does seem like it lands nicely in the center. They're cheating the physics there. If I put it here, can I get over there? I imagine this is basically what they wanted us to do. Maybe they wanted to drop, but it's not necessary. Well, I did say I wanted the game to get more difficult, and it seems like it has done that. Also, the subtitles seem to be working in everything except for those audio logs.
My purpose as the overseer of this mission is to work for the ISA. I am the ISA's feet and hands.
We've got more
the
things.
Distance between Jupiter and Earth make it inappropriate for the ISA to directly interface with the mission directives. As my AI core is stationed on Europa, I can make decisions instantaneously about the running of the base.
Not gonna be able to jump through that. And here we have an energy core. It feels like they've written probably too much dialogue for this. It doesn't seem like we need to have a line of conversation in every room. having some falling action and then having some rising action would be interesting. This also feels like this is either a section we're going to get to much later in the game, in which we steal these energy orbs, and I wouldn't be surprised if we end up stealing most, if not all, the energy orbs in the game, or if this becomes a area where we end up having to just quickly steal the orbs for the next puzzle. And yeah, we are consistently being shown that these ones that you can grab at any distance seem better. Yeah. Again, I'm not sure how a computer wouldn't be able to figure out these puzzles. The Turing test in itself kind of falls apart as you imagine artificial intelligence and computers to be smarter and smarter, or just being capable of trying every single combination possible.
When they can't communicate with us.
Interestingly, I have a twin on Earth. His name is Michael. The ISA uses my twin to check firmware updates before they upload them to myself. There is a simulation of this mission on Earth running at all times to check my expert systems. Naturally, as any modern artificial intelligence running on a quantum computer, I do also have a large amount of evolutionary algorithms at my disposal. However, they were deemed as too unreliable for general use in the mission.
Why is that?
Biological systems produce biological results. Messy, unpredictable solutions. Not suitable for such a mission.
You have a different kind of receiver over here. So this was a double door that we had to open, which then lets us grab that. And switch that, which frees a lock over here, I guess. Which then, I think, allows us to suck out energy orb over there. We kind of are going all over the place. Let's not do that. Instead, let's put this down, shoot this, put this over here. That way we can probably get the energy orb back later if necessary. Yeah. This is one more. Which I guess we just take this. I don't know how, like, the theme of twins clearly is going to play a role in this game, but I don't know how an AI having a instance or clone of himself on Earth really solves any problems if something unexpected happens, which it seems fairly obvious something unexpected has happened in this world, and so Tom is off simulation. Did we do everything? I think we did. I wonder, I guess the round receptacles were an indicator that you could only use the energy balls and not the square receivers. We're getting through these fairly quickly. I kind of wonder though, like if we are not in the simulation ourselves, that might be the case. And here we have light platforms from Portal 2, which makes it fairly questionable as to why we would have it's slightly questionable why you would have, like, does this go off every time I move? Yeah. It's a motion sensor. A motion sensor that you seemingly cannot disable. And no amount of motion will make it activate the sections. Looks like we found one secret area. Maybe we could have opened that previous area. And Tom convinced us. Shall we have a polite conversation? Yes. Why would I want that? Not interested. Okay, I guess. Sure. So you're going up and down just to choose. Oh, I think you're a robot. You're not making any sense. Prove it. You're a robot. No, I'm not. Alright, prove it. I'm simply not convinced you are a human. I think you might be a robot. So, spoiler alert, decent chance I'm a robot. That would explain the name of the game. Let's see. And I simply do not care. Are you insane? I get it. You think I'm a robot. You seem like a robot to me. Your responses seem predefined. Okay. You think I'm a robot. You seem like a robot to me. Let's see. These responses seem predefined. To me, your responses are predefined, suggesting you're a robot. This feels like this is going to go in just circular logic. Stop calling me a robot. I'm a human. I have no response to that. I don't like you. Stop calling me. I really have no response to that. Yes, definitely a robot. You have no evidence. I am not a robot. You're definitely annoying. You're a very annoying robot. You have no evidence. That's good. You failed the Turing test. You're a robot. I'm not in control. I'm not in control. I'm not in control. True. I am a drone. Interesting. Yes, you are. I am a robot. Now you're getting it. I'm controlled by my programming. Wow, this is really early in this game, although this game is not very long. To just kind of reveal this way. I'm controlled by I have no free will. Whatever keys are pressed, it makes no difference. I suppose if I was playing with a keyboard instead of a controller, this might make more sense. Like all I'm doing is moving up and down and left on the control stick. I want to escape. I just tried to hit the press button. The B button, it didn't work. Help, I can't escape. I want to break free. Please let me out. Get me out. I am a machine. I have no control. I must escape. Goodbye, robot. Well, I don't know what you take from that. Either you're a robot and we just proved it, or 100%, or I'm not a robot, and that was just a weird sequence. We'll want to see if this wall doesn't let the energy through. Interesting. So we can't cheat that way. So apparently I'm a robot.
Did the ISA build you, Tom?
As the child of the ISA, I have been given authority aboard this station. I was designed by the ISA and the Ashiyama Corporation, designed in California, assembled in China. But here on Europa, I constructed myself.
He constructed himself. So here we have an interesting set of inverters that are getting introduced. There's very arguably more elements here than you would see in Portal 1 or Portal 2. And that's kind of the thing that if they were going to make a Portal 3, if Valve could count to 3, that time it did totally destroy the energy ball, by the way. So it only destroys energy balls from previous levels. More variety and more items to deal with.
If a computer can successfully impersonate a human. In the original Turing test, a human judge has two conversations, one with a machine and one with another human. They then judge which of these polite conversations is with a machine and which is with a human. The machine being tested is said to have passed the Turing test if the judge cannot reliably tell which conversation is with a machine and which is with a human.
I kind of hate how the audio changes.
I am quite capable of polite conversation, wouldn't you say?
I kind of hate that the audio does seem to just drastically shift every time. So these are inverters. They don't want power. So that's an interesting place for a platform. Okay. Where's the benefit here? To do that? Why did I need to do that? I think what we need to do is pull this, put an energy pellet in here instead. That way we can pick this up later. I guess what you would want to do is maybe some flashbacks or something, some hallucinations, something that would begin to just hint at the idea that you're just a robot, that Tom created you to use you as a way of passing these tests. The general idea, I think, here is also that this is not just the original Turing test being done, but something very different, something more complicated. And did I collect everything in these areas? I think I did. These puzzles are getting kind of divided up, which is interesting. Didn't really have a lot of that in the Portal game series either. But yeah, if this was a slower game, if it had more build up, if it had more puzzles, that would be great. I think there also is an element to be applauded as far as how Portal had GLaDOS just kind of talking
The
inane
Turing test has
gibberish,
been criticized.
or
Researchers claim
or
it does not correctly test the machine's ability
actually
to
just
think,
being
but rather its
insulting.
ability to deceive.
What do you mean?
Well, have you heard of the Chinese room thought experiment?
No.
Imagine you are in a room.
Now they're talking
In this
about a
room,
different
you are passed Chinese
experiment.
sentences through a slot in the wall. Inside the room is an instruction book written in English. This instruction book tells you which Chinese words to pass back through the slot in the wall as a response. By doing so, you have a conversation in Chinese.
I haven't actually heard of that, but yeah, I would definitely have criticisms in general of the Turing test, because it doesn't prove anything that isn't just subjective. So this is a capacitor. It doesn't say anything about how intelligent or helpful or useful a computer program would be. It just says if an average Joe, if you can actually scientifically find an average Joe, would be capable of being tricked or not, based on a computer algorithm. And sure, at a certain point, we would want the artificial intelligence that we deal with on a day-to-day basis to feel more natural and be able to understand us better and anticipate our wants and desires and interact with us on a smoother, more natural nature. But you run into the uncanny valley very quickly with those things, and at a certain point, for most people, they don't want their Siris and their Alexas and all of those to actually be a human being with its own thoughts and wants and needs and desires and its own attitude. They just want it to kind of feel like a dumb secretary, for lack of a better term. No insult to secretaries out there, but they just want it to do what you want it to do. They want it to be predictable. They want it to be somewhat computer-like. And humans kind of don't enjoy the idea of being tricked by computers, so there's really no reason to even want to program a computer to react like a human. If anything, you want a computer to react like a genius computer that overthinks you and prepares for scenarios a human couldn't even expect, and is helpful to the point of being an excellent, helpful device. In the same way that right now, even a basic cell phone or calculator can do millions upon millions and millions of math calculations. No human wants to do millions upon millions of math calculations. A graphics card in a computer can do trillions upon trillions of geometry calculations to draw polygons, make images, load up textures, load up bitmap images, and use those as textures on top of 3D polygonal models. Like, a lot of work gets done there. A lot of work a human doesn't want to do. Humans want computers to be better beasts of burden. They don't want them to particularly be companions. A few people may want a companion in their computer, but most people don't. Anyways, on that thought, that's going to be the end of this recording. We may take a little bit longer than the average player to beat this game, but in finishing that one restricted area, we've kind of spoiled everything, unless there's just going to be a big twist. The next question, I guess, after self-actualizing and realizing that you are a robot, is to decide what our character wants to do and actually be presented with options, which this game is a puzzle game, so you probably won't have too many options. But we'll probably have one big option, one big choice at the end, and we'll have to decide, do we want to be the good guy or the bad guy, or do we want to do one thing versus the other thing. We do seem like we mostly have free will, even though that section didn't let us really access it. But when playing the rest of the game, it seems like we can go anywhere and do anything we want. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of it down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.